Hello, boys and girls. I am here to explain to you about tangrams because I would like us to have a few tangram lessons that you might enjoy. Now, when you picked up your academic packets, there were two pieces of construction paper, and then there was a little bag of some plastic pieces. We're going to do the construction paper at this moment. So if you have your two pieces of construction paper, please get them out. And I'm going to get out my two pieces of construction paper. Now I have already done this. Both of your pieces are squares. So I am going to make both of my pieces be squares. The way that you make a square is a square has right angles. It's a quadrilateral because it has four sides, and all four sides are equal sides. So as you can see, three of these sides are equal. Now I'm going to cut off the fourth side to make it be equal. Before you can make a tangram, you have to be able to have a square. So here is my square. Now let's begin. We're going to make 7 special shapes out of this tangram. A square has 4 lines of symmetry. We're going to make 1 line of symmetry, and that line of symmetry is going to make a triangle. Now, a line of symmetry is when you fold an object on a line and both sides match exactly. So I want to make a triangle, and I'm going to fold this so both sides match exactly. There we go. That is my line of symmetry. And I'm going to fold back and forth on that line of symmetry. Then I'm going to pick up the scissors and I'm going to cut my shape on that line of symmetry. I'm cutting my square. And now that I'm through cutting the square, I have 2 congruent triangles. And these are very special triangles. These are right triangles. And the reason they're right triangles is not because of this angle or this angle. It's because of this one right here. That makes a corner. If you look at it like that, or like this, or like this, no matter which way you turn your triangle, there is where the right angle is. So we just made 2 large right triangles. Okay? Now we're going to take one of those right triangles and we're going to find another line of symmetry. So I'm folding it on a line of symmetry. I'm folding it like this. Remember, a line of symmetry is when you fold an object on a line and both sides match exactly. So I just folded mine. There's my line of symmetry. I'm going to fold it back and forth, back and forth. Now, I'm taking that right triangle. See, here is the right angle right there. That's the right angle. And on that right angle is where we folded it to find the line of symmetry. Now I'm going to cut on that line of symmetry. And let's see what we made. We made 2 congruent right triangles. So both of these have a right angle right there. When you make a tangram, you need 7 pieces. So here are 2 of the tans. 2 large right triangles. I'm going to set those on my left side. Now pick up your other large right triangle that you haven't cut yet, and we're going to fold this one. But when we fold this one, we're not going to find a line of symmetry. We're going to make a trapezoid. And the way you do that is by taking the right angle of this right triangle and you're going to fold it down to the bottom. You want the tip to touch the bottom. That is not a line of symmetry because, as you can see, it did not make 2 equal pieces. The pieces do not match exactly. Matter of fact, if you look at it, it looks like you made 1, 2, 3 triangles. But that's not what we're going to end up making. So on that line, when we turned this right triangle into a trapezoid, fold that line back and forth. And then take your scissors and cut on that line, which is not a line of symmetry. And this is what you have. Okay, this is your third tan, not the trapezoid. But this is a medium-sized right triangle. So now you have 2 large right triangles and 1 medium right triangle. You've made 3 of your tans. So put that off to the side. Now let's look at our trapezoid. We're going to find the line of symmetry of this trapezoid. So I'm going to fold it so both sides match exactly. Now this one didn't do very well. That means I didn't do such good cutting, but it came close. So there is my line of symmetry. Right there. Can you see it? Now I'm going to fold that line of symmetry back and forth a couple of times. Then I'm going to pick up my triangle and my scissors and my trapezoid, and I'm turning that big trapezoid into these shapes, which are also trapezoids. Even though they don't look quite like this one, they both are still trapezoids. To be a trapezoid, you have to have one pair of parallel sides, and the top and bottom would be parallel. Okay, out of this one, we're going to make a right triangle and a square. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this corner here that's not a right angle, that would be my acute angle. I'm going to take the acute angle and make it go all the way over and touch this right angle on the opposite side. So watch this again. Here's an acute angle, and we're going to take it all the way over and make it touch the right angle there. And now I'm going to fold it on that. I'm going to fold it right there. Now, let me take, that is not a line of symmetry. We're going to go back and forth, back and forth. Can you see my hair sticking up? That's how you know that this is COVID-19, and I haven't been to get my hair cut. So if my hair hadn't been cut, why'd that sticking up there? Anyway, that's off the topic. Now, there is the line. I'm going to pick up my scissors and cut right there. And look what I made. I made a square and a small right triangle. Now we have 5 pieces of a tan. We've got 2 congruent large triangles. We have 1 medium right triangle. We have 1 square with right angles everywhere. And we have 1 small right triangle. Can you see how important these right angles are? Okay, we have 1 piece left. And let's look at this piece. This is the other half of the trapezoid. And to do this piece, I want to make a parallelogram. And I want to make a small right triangle. So to do that, so this is what I have to do that one. Now the other time, we took the acute angle and folded it over to the right angle. That's not what we do this time. This time we're going to take the right angle and go to the opposite side where this obtuse angle is. So I'm taking the right angle and I'm folding it all the way up to where the obtuse angle is. And see how different that is? The other time, we took the acute angle and folded it to the opposite right angle. Now, on this side, of the other piece of the trapezoid, we're taking the right angle and we're folding it up to where it meets the corner of the obtuse angle. I hope you remember your angle. Right angle, acute angle, obtuse angle, straight angle. Now, after I've folded it back several different times, then I'm going to take my scissors and cut. And there we go. That makes seven pieces of our tan. We have 2 large congruent right triangles. We have 2 small congruent right triangles. That's the last 2 that we cut from our trapezoids. We have 1 square. We have 1 parallelogram. And look at that parallelogram. There are no right angles anywhere. There are acute angles and there are obtuse angles. And then we have a medium-sized right triangle. Okay, so I'm going to do that one more time. In case you messed up your first one, you have a chance to do it on the second one. I took my large sheet, that is a square, and I'm finding the line of symmetry. And when you find the line of symmetry, you want to find a line of symmetry that makes a triangle. Fold it back and forth. Back and forth. And then cut. And when you cut, you've turned that square into 2 right triangles. Now we're going to find the line of symmetry of one of those right triangles. There is the line of symmetry. Notice that when I found the line of symmetry, here was the right angle. And so that's where I found the line of symmetry. I'm going to fold it back and forth, back and forth. And there's 1, 2. Those are our 2 large congruent right triangles. Now here's the other piece. We're not going to find the line of symmetry of this one. We're going to turn it into a trapezoid. And the way you turn it into a trapezoid is to cut off the tip of the triangle. But how far do you cut it off? The tip of the right angle triangle is going to go down, and you're going to fold it straight down so it touches the bottom. And when you do that, it looks like you have 3 triangles. But we don't. We're only going to cut it so we have 1 triangle. Back and forth, and I'm cutting right here. This is not a line of symmetry. And there's our 3rd tan. It's a medium-sized right triangle. Now we're left with a trapezoid. I'm going to find another line of symmetry. So I'm going to fold this trapezoid so both sides match exactly. And then I'm going to cut. And when you cut a trapezoid on a line of symmetry, you get another trapezoid. Because to be a trapezoid, you don't have to have right angles, but you do have to have opposite sides that are parallel. And so this trapezoid had opposite sides that are parallel, and when you find the line of symmetry, it still does. Okay, we're going to take half of that trapezoid, and we're going to take the acute angle, and we're going to fold it over to the other side where the right angle is. See that? I took the acute angle, and I folded it over to the right angle. I'm going to fold it back and forth, and I'm starting to notice that I made a square. And when I cut there, that was not a line of symmetry. But when I cut there, I made a square and a small right triangle. Now we have one piece left, and so we've got 5 pieces of our tan. We need to make 2 more pieces with this one. And on this one, on this other piece that's left, we're going to take the right angle and we're going to fold that corner up to touch the opposite obtuse angle. So did you see how I did that? Here's my right angle, and I'm going to fold it to the obtuse angle. So it looks like this. Or if you folded it from that way, it looks like this. And on that fold, that is not a line of symmetry either. We're going to fold it back and forth, back and forth. And there we go. We made another small right triangle, and we made a parallelogram. Okay, now you've had the chance 2 times to make tangrams. You've got 2 sets of tangrams, unless you messed up one of them. And what if you messed up both of them? It's okay, because if you look back in your packet, you will find the 7 pieces of pre-made plastic tangram pieces. And I hope that you get those out now, because you can put them back together and make them into a square. Okay, this was part 1. Now I have 3 other stories. I'm going to turn off this one and give you a chance to take a break. And if you'd like to hear a story where you make things with your 7 tans from your tangram, then I want you to look on my YouTube channel, find the next story that is called Grandfather Tang's Tangram Story. I hope you enjoyed making tangrams. So now get out your plastic pieces for the next story.